with the jab there.
Yeah, the more accurate, the sniper shots, so to speak, are being done by Nguyen. But every once in a while, the game Gonzalez will come and find a straight-up win, admiring his work a little bit too much.
Not many in the business are going to keep up the work rate and pure volume of Dat Nguyen, but Gonzalez showing he can have his spots and find the mark. Stylistically, such a pleasing fight in front of us already. More blood streaming down the right side of the face of Castulo Gonzalez. We got a good...
Some action from the last round. We were talking about the advantage that Nguyen has. This is where he has it. As Gonzalez is coming forward, there's a lot of space. Nguyen has an opportunity to catch him with right hands on the way in. Just watch, right here. Nguyen gets there first because Gonzalez leaning forward a little bit, making himself available. Nguyen again, Joe, picking up some important counterpunching opportunities.
Undefeated Dat Nguyen, 24 years old, facing this man, Castulo Gonzalez. You see the blood streaming down the side of his face. They're trying to take care of that cut over the right eye that started in the second round due to a punch. His trainer, Alex Rivera, he's trained by the Rivera brothers, was arguing, hey, that was a clash of heads. By the way, the Rivera brothers, two great guys here in Boston. They run the Fighting Chance Foundation. They do some outreach for local school children and try to improve their community through boxing. Two of the good guys in the sport.
They are good guys.
Get him up. Get him up.
Teddy's scorecard, 29-29. An exciting run in these first three rounds. Dat Nguyen threw over 100 punches in each of the first three rounds, but Gonzalez, perhaps the more effective and more accurate work, but Nguyen so very busy, is the young undefeated Vietnamese native. Told you earlier how well traveled he is, having left Vietnam as a young boy, now trained by Buddy McGirt and living down in Vero Beach.
Looks like there's another cut now, not only in the corner of the right eye of Gonzalez, but now in the hairline, up high in the forehead of Gonzalez, that's bleeding down.
And more specifically, bleeding down into that same right eye. You know,
that's the problem.
A cut on the hairline sometimes is a non-factor, but in this case, it is a major factor because that is what the ringside physicians will look for, the effect that a cut has on the vision of a fighter.
Yeah, it's a non-factor sometimes because up in the skull, you don't worry about permanent damage. Exactly, Joe, but when it's running into the eye and obscuring the vision, you do worry.
Gonzalez presses forward, landed a left hook.
Again, win this round, trying to show some of that versatility. Being convinced maybe by the very game. Tough-willed Gonzalez to get outside and show some of that versatility.
You had a sense of this very early on in the first round, Teddy, when you couldn't help but just be wowed by Dat Nguyen, but you said, you know what? Give it a few rounds, and if things go one way, he's going to find himself in a very tough fight tonight. That's where he is as we near the halfway point of this scheduled 8-rounder.
But that's always the testing of anybody. You know, a lawyer in court can start with a good opening argument, but then when the DA comes back with a very substantial argument of his own, how does he behave then? Well, we're finding out right now because Gonzalez has come back with a pretty good argument of his own.
Coming to the halfway point of a very strong opener on Wednesday night fights from Boston. Round number 5. Castulo Gonzalez has been game. He is cut, bloodied, injured, taking on the swarming effects from Dat Nguyen, the undefeated 24-year-old. We are in round number 5. Nguyen is in the gold trunks. He is unbeaten at 10-0. Gonzalez in the red trunks, 9-2.
You know, the talents that we see early and that sometimes we see easily, sometimes too easily, and sometimes we celebrate too quickly, are the talents of speed, physicality, even ring generalship, footwork, technique, those kind of skills. But the talent that we don't see until later on, when it starts to show itself, is the kind of talent that Gonzalez possesses. And that's the ability to overcome. That's the ability to make difficult choices in difficult circumstances. That's the ability that can carry you past somebody that has more versatility and has more of the other abilities at many times. And that's the ability Gonzalez is showing right now. And he's hoping he can bank on that to overtake the undefeated fighter.
Guatemalan native who trains and lives out of Lynn, Massachusetts. Just a quick drive north of Boston. Trading right hands on the inside now before they tie up.
Again, you could see that Nguyen understands where Gonzalez is looking to go, and that's right inside. So Nguyen trying to take advantage of that on the outside and do that. Nail Gonzalez as he comes to him. Again, as I said early, trying to take advantage of Gonzalez's grit, of his determination, and also a little bit of his one-dimensional style.
Get your hand on his head.
Got that right hand behind the head. Mike Ryan clears that up. Three-punch combination. Not much landing. Gonzalez turns him around.
Whoa, whoa.
A better round for Nguyen. He got the pace he wanted. It was a little slower and able to go back to that right hand, timing Gonzalez as Gonzalez does what he does. Comes forward.
Castulo Gonzalez, Dat Nguyen, 3 to go. Will 24-year-old Dat Nguyen still be undefeated when 8 rounds are complete here on Wednesday Night Fights against Castulo Gonzalez? Good fight to open up this fight night in Boston. Mike Oliver, Cruz Carvajal in a 12-round junior featherweight elimination bout, still to come in a main event. Nguyen, a very likable young man, well marketed in the game already, trading punches here in round 6. Takes a lot of pride in being Asian American in the sport. Says he wants to represent his people well. Vietnamese native who made his way to America as a young boy. Punch track numbers, the punches thrown by round. Remember how Nguyen started off so hot. He is tailed off, but it's tough to say someone is tailed off when there's still over 100 punches thrown around, but such is the case when you open up with 133. Teddy Atlas's scorecard through 5 rounds, dead even, 48-48.
Again, more options for Nguyen. He can use the ring a little bit as he has in a couple rounds. Going to be warned, I think. Nope. I thought he was going to be warned for a low blow there as he got pulled down as he was throwing a left hook to the body of Gonzalez. But he can do more things. He can box on the outside. He can counter. He can time Nguyen or time Gonzalez as he comes forward. Gonzalez, for the most part, needs to get in those trenches and just do it the old-fashioned way. Try to break down Nguyen. But again, there are opportunities, as you see that jab of Gonzalez find Nguyen, for Gonzalez to find Nguyen as he stands straight up. Every once in a while, Nguyen will be a very available target when he's finished punching, standing straight up in that punching range. That was very telling just a moment ago. Gonzalez, I mentioned, took this fight on short notice. The gas tank starting to empty out a little bit, maybe. And since he's the kind of style that depends on gas being in that tank, he's not the kind of guy that can be on the outside, out-cuting you, out-slicking you. He has to be inside working. That's going to hurt Gonzalez because a moment ago, he got inside and he put his hands behind Nguyen. That is not, right there is another example of it, Joe. If Gonzalez was feeling full of petrol, he would never do that. He knows that that is the place he must be shining. He must be working. And for him to make that concession, he is starting to wear down in the gas department.
Left hand on the bell from Dat Nguyen. Still to come.